Mm.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen,
Ladies
yeah,
and gentlemen.
gentlemen, ladies, thank you so much for joining the meeting today. This is Kwanza Kenya's induction and new members group training. The reason this meeting is taking place is because we had decided as the expo that we needed to orientate members to what Kwanza Kenya is, Toastmasters, and especially pathways. Because you come in and you find people giving their speeches, they are taking up leadership roles, you may get lost in the crowd because you're wondering what is happening. So I know most of you have already attended meetings, but there were new members who had joined us and we wanted to begin this process. So the importance of this group also is once you go through this training, then we are restructuring our mentoring program where we will move people from the induction group and to a new group that is level 1. And after level 1, you move to level 2, 3, 4, 5, the same way. And you will be encountering different mentors. I know most of you have had your own personal relationship with other mentors. We are not removing those mentors from you, but you will now start interacting with new members, new mentors. The mentors in this group today are Pascalia Mainge, our president. We have Angela Kithua, our vice president of membership. And we have Kendi Mwabila, a member of Toastmasters. She's seasoned. And these are the people who are going to be in charge of this group for orientation, induction, history of Kwanza Kenya, and pathways training. So I hope as we move along, you will be attentive, and any questions that you have will be given an opportunity during the Q&A section after every presenter. So please, as you're listening to the training, please take notes and there'll be an opportunity to ask questions. So our first presenter this evening is going to be Pascalia Mainge, and she is going to be taking us through the history of Kwanza Kenya. Pascalia Mainge, welcome. Please lead us through this next segment.
Thank you very much, Vice President Education Mawia. It is such a privilege and a joy and indeed an honor to be in this, in this call tonight. And as we get started, I want to welcome each and every one of the participants who've joined us, believing that others are going to be joining us as we move forward. My role today is very clear-cut. I will be telling us about who Toastmasters International is and who Kwanza Kenya Toastmasters is, because basically, in as much as you've joined or you're planning to join and you're already moving on, there could be some questions you have about certain things in Kwanza Kenya or even in Toastmasters International. And it will be an honor to be able to respond to those questions. And I just want to say welcome and let's get started right now. Allow me to share my screen as we get started. Okay. So like we had said, the first thing that we're going to tackle this evening is looking at who Kwanza Kenya Toastmasters is, with our basis on Kwanza Toastmasters International. Most of us, I believe, are already in Toastmasters. You're all here as Toastmasters in Kwanza Kenya. Now, where did Toastmasters International originate from? Now, Toastmasters International was founded by Mr. Ralph C. Smedley. And I believe that as you move forward and you become more seasoned as Toastmasters, you get to interact with that name, C. Smedley. And you keep on hearing of something called the Smedley campaign. Now, the Smedley campaign came from the founder, that is Mr. Raphael C. Smedley. And Raphael C. Smedley saw a need for skills related to meetings, committees, communication, leadership, planning, meeting facilitation, and public speaking. And that was way in the year 1924 when he realized the great need that is marked in these respective areas. And because of that, he resigned from his job and set up a publication and trademarked it as Toastmasters Club. And that is why we've been saying that this year, 2024, Toastmasters International is actually celebrating its 100th year from the time that it was incorporated by Mr. Raphael C. Medley. This organization of Toastmasters International is a global organization. It is headquartered in Inglewood, Colorado, USA. We have approximately 270,000 members. There could be more, but that is the number that we have for now. And we are in about 14,200 clubs, because in every country, they have more than 20 or 50 clubs. So collectively, we have 14,200 members, and we are spread across the globe in 148 countries. In each and every one of these clubs, we find this regular practice, and the same practice, the same meeting roles that are happening in Kenya, they happen in all the other 147 countries across the globe. We have the same standards, right from the way that we carry out our meetings, to the way that the roles are carried out, to the way that we do everything in a Toastmasters Club. And what we find is that members are empowered to meet their professional as well as their personal communication goals, because everywhere you go, you definitely are communicating with somebody. In whichever area, whichever sphere of your life you are in, you will be communicating, or you've been communicating. And it's very important for you to be able to learn how to communicate effectively. Now, that was Toastmasters International, of which Kwanza Kenya Toastmasters Club is affiliated to. Now, as Kwanza Kenya Toastmasters Club, we are the premier Toastmasters Club in Kenya. Kwanza Kenya Toastmasters was chartered on the 1st of June, 1982. That means we are about 42 years old. Now, that is no mean deal. We have been there for a very long time. We are a part of Area 10, Division C. Now, as Kwanza Kenya, over the years, we've been known to be a very professional set, because we have built a legacy of professionalism by focusing on standards of excellence that reflect credit on the club as a whole. And we have been the ones who've been the pace setters across all the other clubs in Kenya. And you find that so many other clubs always look out to emulate the professionalism that takes place in Kwanza Kenya. And I thank you so much for being a part of this team, because it is from here that you're able to get mentors, you're able to get people who will help you to move from one level to the other as a Toastmaster, and to be able to realize the goals that you've set for yourself professionally or even personally. The mission for Kwanza Kenya, which is actually a general mission for Toastmasters International, is to empower individuals to become more effective communicators and leaders. And I want to believe that this is what brought each and every one of us into Toastmasters. The vision we have as Kwanza Kenya Toastmasters is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop their communication as well as their leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Most of the time, when you ask new members what was their goal for joining Toastmasters, most of them tell you that they joined so that they can become more confident as public speakers. But you realize that as you develop your communication skills, and communication is both written as well as verbal, your leadership skills subsequently pick up, and you become that positive and that selfless public speaker that you've always wanted to become. Now, for Toastmasters internationally, not just for Kwanza, Kenya, we espouse a set of very, very essential core values, and that is integrity, respect, service, and excellence. And you find that the very first value is integrity. And integrity is because once you have integrity, the rest of them follow. Once you have integrity, you're able to be true to yourself, true to your club, and true to the goals that you've set for yourself. As the rest of the facilitators are going to present, you will realize the key importance of having integrity in the values you've set for yourself, to realize the goals that you set for yourself at the very beginning, so that you don't have to be followed up by anybody to be able to follow up on your dreams or end your goals, but you use your integrity to become what you set out to be. In Toastmasters internationally, we have a hierarchy of organizational structure. The first one at the ground level is a club, and that is where Kwanza Kenya Toastmasters is. From club level, you move to area level, division, district, and regional. As you continue learning more about Toastmasters, you'll get to understand what all this is all about. For example, we are in that contest season right now, and you'll keep hearing that we are having a club contest or we are having an area contest. Now, this is what we are referring to. The next speaker will expound a bit more on what we are referring to when we talk about all these hierarchical organizational structure. We have the privilege and the honor of having our immediate past president, the distinguished Toastmaster Japhet Musau, as the chief executive in District 114, which is where Kwanza Kenya falls under. And District 114 is comprised of Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, and Ethiopia. Being the chief executive officer, it means that he has to make sure that everything within the East African region works seamlessly. And that's why he's got to keep on going from one to the other. But in a nutshell, all these different clubs in this District 114, we all do the same thing. Lastly, Kwanza Kenya Toastmasters Club is a very, very vibrant community of leaders and confident public speakers who are dedicated to personal and professional growth. And what I would say is that we are very honored, we are very glad that you are part of this winning team. And we believe that as you continue pushing yourself, walking in integrity to realize the dreams and the goals that you've set for yourself as you joined Kwanza Kenya Toastmasters, the sky will definitely not be the limit for you. So thank you so much. I hand you over now to the next presenter. Please take keen interest and notice of whatever is going on. Have a pen and a notepad to be able to take notes. Over to you, Mawia.
Thank you so much, Pascalia, for that presentation. Now it's a question and answer moment. Does anyone have a question that they would like to pose to Pascalia before we proceed to the next speaker?
Yes.
Yes, please go forward.
Yeah. I'm just curious to know how many clubs we have in Kenya. Is that, do we have like a number to, do we know? I'm just curious.
Yes, we do. We definitely know. Thank you very much, Njeri, for that question. I think we are around 40 or 50 thereabouts clubs in Kenya, and that is in every part of Kenya.
Okay, and then I'm also curious to know whether Kenya is the most, how do I call it? The most, is the word sophisticated? I'm not sure if it's sophisticated, like the most advanced Toastmasters club in this district. You've called it District 114. Because I see we also have Uganda, TZ, Rwanda, Ethiopia. And I remember, I think we have a Toastmaster who is usually in South Sudan. So I've just remembered him. I can't remember his, Yahe or something. Oh no, Ibrahim. So anyway, I'm just curious how that dynamic works when we have like people like Ibrahim. He's part of the Kenyan team? Okay, what's my question? My question, I guess, is Kenya the most advanced market within the District 114? And then I just remembered Ibrahim and wondered, is he part of our Kenyan market, or because I can't see South Sudan listed here?
Okay, thank you once again, Jerry. Like you would know, Kenya is one of the most technologically developed countries in not only East Africa, but in Africa at large. And so naturally, not only in Toastmasters, but right across, you find that the technology in Kenya is of very high standard. And that is why you also find that most people and most organizations, they look up to Kenya as a world-class and at a world-class level country. In terms of Yahya and all those others who join us, you'll appreciate that Toastmasters is an international organization, and you are free to join wherever you want and whichever club you're interested in joining in. You are not deterred from joining any club because it's a global organization. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question?
Yeah, Michael here.
Hi, Michael.
Hi, how are you?
Great.
Yeah, so my question is, when you're a member of Kwanza, and I've seen, because I participated in a number of meetings, for visiting members, if, for example, you want to visit another club, are you required to make payment for such, or once you join one club, then you're free to attend any other club within the country or within the region?
Thank you very much, Michael, for that question. I think it's a very important question for all of us. Once you're a member of Toastmasters, you can join a Toastmasters club globally without making any payment whatsoever.
By joining, she means that you can attend the meeting, but your membership rests at Kwanza, Kenya. So it's like if you go to Tanzania, you can attend any club Toastmasters meeting without paying, but your membership lies at the club where you paid. So you won't repay any other fee.
Thank you. I think that's clear.
And just to add on to that, I'd like to also say that it is a recommendation that you try as much as possible to attend other club meetings and take up roles if possible, because in so doing, you're able to grow exponentially as you see what goes on in other clubs, and you're able to inculcate them in Kwanza, Kenya, and you find that you grow very fast in that way. Any other question?
Any other questions? I believe if we do not have any other questions, we can still jot down any thought that comes to mind and we can ask after our second speaker, who is Angela Kithua, and she is the Vice President of Membership of Kwanza Kenya Club. As we were talking about being in different regions, she is currently at, is it Kakuma or Dadaab camp? And she's still a member of Dadaab and a member of Kwanza Kenya, and is still able to participate in other clubs. Angela, thank you so much, because I know you've been the first person in contact with all new members in your email communication. I'm sure today they are so excited to see your face. Karibu sana, Angela.
Thank you so much, Mawia, and good evening, everyone. It is good to meet most of you this evening, because I know we talk on emails, we also talk on WhatsApp, on calls, but I've not been able to meet most of you in person, but I'm hoping soon and very soon I'll be able to attend the physical meetings and interact with you one-on-one. So this evening, I'll be taking over from where Pascalia has left. So she has talked about Toastmasters, what is all about, and narrowed down to talk about Kwanza Kenya Toastmasters Club. She has also talked about the values of Toastmasters. So I'll go straight to some of the opportunities that we have in building our communication and leadership skills as we participate in Toastmasters. So on the structure that she has talked about at the club level, which is led by the president, we have different opportunities to take part and volunteer ourselves in terms of leadership. I'll be talking more about the club leadership in the next slide. Then we have the area. At the area level, the leader is the area director. And under the area director, we have a team that works with the director to ensure that the clubs are well led and supported. So as a member of Toastmasters, you also have an opportunity to volunteer yourself and serve as a leader at the area level. And the next level is the division, which is led by the division director, who is also supported by a team of leaders. So as a member, you also have an opportunity to volunteer yourself and serve at the division level. We also now have the district where the leader is the district director. As Pascalia has said and noted, is that Japheth Musau is the district director, which is a clear indication that we all have this equal opportunity to serve in each level that we would want to serve. It all boils down to our willingness to volunteer and also participation in the different activities in the club. As so far, I know most of you have been Toastmasters for at least a month, two, or maybe a few months, and you would have realized that in Toastmasters, there's no one who is really pushing you to take up your pathways. So it is like a personal responsibility. I know that Mawia is always calling us and encouraging us to complete our projects and our paths, but the overarching issue is that we need to motivate ourselves and ensure that we complete our path. We also take roles in the meetings, and that is how we grow. So the same way in terms of leadership, we have to put ourselves out there to serve. So talking more on the club leadership, we have the president, who is the CEO of the club and guides the whole business of the club, supporting members and ensuring that every business of the club is carried as per the Toastmasters guideline, and also is in communication with the area director, the division director, and the district director to ensure that all activities that are scheduled during the year are carried out as per the guidelines. The president is assisted by a team of members, starting with the vice president education, who is majorly looking at the education program of Toastmasters, is guiding members to ensure that they choose their path and also take up their education project. The vice president education is also the person who organizes the meetings, ensure that people take up roles, meeting roles, and also that the meetings carried out seamlessly. Then we have the vice president membership. This is the person who is engages the guests and ensures that they are well oriented and helps in converting them to members. This is the person who ensures smooth registration of the new members and ensures that in communication with Vice President Education, they are allocated members and they attend orientation sessions like we are doing now. Then we have the Vice President Public Relations. This is the person who is marketing our club. He's the person, she's the person, he or she is the person who producing the poster that you see around for meetings and the different activities that we carry out as a club. And also she or he is the person who runs our social media accounts, Twitter, Facebook, and all the social media accounts that Kwanza has. Then we have the treasurer. The treasurer is in charge of the club finances and is also the person who reminds members to renew their membership and ensures that the club finances are well budgeted and utilized as per the club plans. Then we have the secretary who is in charge of documentation for the club and also taking minutes during the club meetings, arranging and making announcements for the NGM. Then the sergeant at arms is in charge of the properties of the club and also ensuring that the meetings run smoothly, especially when we are doing the hybrid and the virtual meetings. This is the person who ensures that we have well set up systems to ensure that people can seamlessly participate. This is also the person that members meet first when they are coming for the meeting, because most of the time they are seated near the entrance with a guest register to welcome members and ensure that they are comfortable. So this is what we have in terms of leadership at the club level. And every member has an opportunity to build their leadership skills through volunteering to take up a leadership role. Then in terms of the club meeting roles, as most of you are aware, we meet twice per month, every second and the fourth Tuesday of the month. And during the club meetings, we have different roles that members can volunteer to take. The first one is the Toastmaster of the day, who basically is the MC of the meeting and guides the running of the whole meeting. Then we have the grammarian. So in Toastmasters, we are encouraged to ensure that our grammar is rich. And this is the person who shares the word of the day and ensure that they monitor and give feedback at the end of the meeting on the good use of the English language. Then we have the evaluators. These are the people who give feedback to the speakers. The feedback is usually both written and verbal. So they are the people who work with the speakers to ensure that they are able to encourage them on areas that they need to improve and also talk about what they have done well. Then the hair counters usually monitor the meeting, the entire meeting on how people are able to control the use of the filler words. We have the speakers, and these are people who, so we have two types of speakers. We have the members who prepare speeches, so they come to the meeting with already prepared speeches, and we also have the speakers who speak impromptu using the being guided by the table topics master. So the table topics master gives people, especially the members who did not have roles during the meeting, it gives them an opportunity to speak impromptu by sharing a random topic for people to talk about. Then we have the timer who ensures that the speakers are speaking on within the allocated time, and also the meeting starts and ends on time. Then we have the general evaluator, and this is the person who looks at the whole process of the meeting from the start to the end and gives feedback on what went well during the meeting and area that we need to improve. Then we have the hack master. This is a role that if you go to the Toastmasters website, you will not find it there, but Kwanza is one of the clubs that always has this role during the meetings. And this is the person who ensures that people are attentive during the meetings, they are listening keenly, and this is done by asking questions about what was happening during the meeting to see if people are able to share maybe what the speakers were talking about. And at this point, I would also want to talk about how the meetings are run. And basically, we have 5 sections during a club meeting. And the first section is the business section. And this is where the president opens the meeting, welcomes the members, and welcomes any announcements from the club officers. Then after that, he or she hands over to the Toastmaster of the day, who introducing the role takers and takes the meeting to the next stage, which is the prepared speeches, where we have speakers delivering the prepared speeches. Then from there, the next section is the table topics, where the table topics master gives members an opportunity to speak impromptu. Then from there, now we have the evaluation, and this is the evaluation for the speakers and also the general evaluation for the entire meeting, and also the delivery of reports by the different role takers. And the last section is the final closure by the president. So in terms of what we learn during as members of Toastmasters, one is developing our critical thinking skills. And for example, if you are the Toastmaster of the day, you are supposed to come up with a theme for the meeting. That means for you to do this, you have to critically think about what is happening and maybe what you want the team to discuss on that particular day. And this is a way of building your own skills. Also, if you're a speaker, you have to critically think about the speech that you're developing. We are also able to practice time management. As you know, both the prepared speeches and the impromptu speeches are always timed. Even when the role takers are delivering their reports, they are timed. So we practice time management. We are also able to enhance our listening skills. Everybody who talks during a club meeting is basically making a presentation. So that means we are sharpening our presentation skills. We are establishing relationships as we meet during our club meetings. We are also practicing of on speaking without practice, because members are given opportunities to speak impromptu, and also the speakers are given feedback, both verbal and written. So we take our time and implement the feedback, and we also develop leadership skills through taking the club meeting roles, and also through the club leadership. And just to briefly talk about the benefits of Toastmasters in the marketplace, I know most of you are, maybe you are in an entrepreneurship or you in employment, and through this, through the Toastmasters, you are able to develop your leadership skills, and this helps in, if it's your business, in leading your team, or if you in corporate, you are able to grow in the corporate leadership. Also, you have an opportunity to network with different people, especially when we attend these conferences or when we are visiting different clubs. We are able to meet maybe different people that are in different fields that we are interested in, and we are able to learn from them. I have had testimonials from Toastmasters who say that they have received a lot of referrals from the fellow Toastmasters. So that is an advantage. And also, as we are leading our teams, we also gain the skills of giving feedback, because I believe whether you are in business or you are in employment, you need to be constantly giving feedback to your team. So through the practice in the club meetings, you are able to build up this skill. So I'll stop there and welcome any questions. Thank you.
Hello, thank you so much, Angela, for that presentation. If there's any question, I'll kindly ask you to ask at this moment if you need to seek clarification on anything that Angela has presented. The floor is open.
Who's the current VPM for Kenya Kwanza? Kwanza Kenya, rather.
I am the current.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Ah.
yes. But I know I have been away for.
Oh, okay. Yeah, now I get it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay.
I have a question, Angela.
Okay.
By taking up a role as a timer in a club meeting, how does that help me in the marketplace?
Thank you so much for that question. First of all, in every sector, time is very important. And we always have, for example, timelines. We also, in our offices, there are times that we need to adhere to. So this is one way of ensuring that we practice, one, keeping time. For example, if he's attending meetings. Two, for example, if you're invited somewhere to make a presentation and you're supposed to present for 1 hour, you are able to stick to that time. So taking up that role in the club is a way of practicing on how we can manage our times, even our own personal, in our own personal lives. We need to manage time. If there's something that we've said that we are going to do within a particular period, then we need to stick to that time. So it is important both in the marketplace and also in our own personal life.
Thank you, Angela. So what I think you're saying is that every role that we take up in a meeting has something to do with what we do in the marketplace. It is not just a meeting role, but it is something that helps us to improve in the marketplace. I think that's what you're trying to say.
Yes.
Thank you.
maybe to build up on that point is most of the times when members join Toastmasters, they assume that the only role that is beneficial to them is the speaking role and aim to just take up the speaking role. But in giving evaluations, you learn to give feedback. Sorry, ground noise. And even as you take up roles like the hack counter role, you realize you're not paying attention. And even in the marketplace, it can help you when you're in board meetings to be able to learn how to actually listen to the speaker who is speaking. So as new members of Kwanza Kenya, I know you will be eager to also just take up the speaking role, but please know that you are growing based on the skills that Angela highlighted, even as you take up roles as the timer, hackmaster, grammarian, all those roles. They will test you and reveal a skill that you're lacking or need to improve on. Thank you, Angela.
Mm.
I believe if there are no other questions, we can move on to the meat of the program, and that is introduction to pathways. Many new members, when they join Toastmasters, are excited. They are eager to begin their speeches because one of the key things that attracted them to Toastmasters was public speaking. And they come in and they have a zeal to begin their speeches. But once they interact with the online system that is called Pathways, they hit a bump on the road. They find it hard to navigate the system. And in the process, because they are new members, unable to communicate their frustrations to the leadership team or not able to interact with other members, silently drift off because they're unable to navigate Pathways. And this is one of the key things that we wanted to teach you today, that as you enter Toastmasters, you will encounter a system that has been designed by Toastmasters International called Pathways. And this is the interface that we use to access our programs, our manuals, the objectives of the speeches that we'll be undertaking, and help you monitor your growth even as you journey through the Toastmasters program. And to take us through this segment is none other than a member of Kwanza Kenya, Kendi Mwabila. Kendi Mwabila, welcome as you take us through this segment of Pathways. I really urge the members who have joined in today, please be very attentive to this segment. Not that the other segments were not important, but this will help you in your Toastmasters journey. Thank you. Welcome, Kendi.
Thank you so much, Mawia. Good evening, everyone, and how are you?
Good evening, Kendi.
Good evening.
Good
Yeah,
evening.
Fantastic.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for responding. I'm so excited to be taking you through Pathways. And I just want you to type on the chat. This will be very interactive. Type on the chat on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest. How much have you struggled navigating Pathways? On a scale of 1 to 5. 1 is the least. So you're good in Pathways, Jerry. Vivian says 4. Okay, 5. Okay. All right. I see. So quite a lot of you have struggled with Pathways. So I have good news today and I have bad news. Good news is that after the end of this training, you're going to have an idea, actually the knowledge on how to navigate Pathways. But the bad news is, which is somewhat bad, comme ci, comme ça, 50-50, is that Toastmasters is introducing something new that will help us navigate Basecamp better. And this is after a lot of people indicated, just like you, that they have been struggling a lot when it comes to their projects, updating, launching their parts, and many other challenges that they have experienced. So we're going to have a new system that will be introduced So after this training, once Toastmasters has introduced another program, we are going to come back and update ourselves. And it will be all of us together. Even I don't know how the new learning management system will be, so we'll all learn together. But as for now, I want us to pay attention, because towards the end, we'll also have a Kahoot session to test whether you've been attentive and you've captured the information. Can someone kindly confirm that you can see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, there we go. Fantastic. So what we are covering in our content today is the introduction to pathways. What is this pathways? How do you select a path? What is Basecamp? And how do you access other resources? And I'll dive in. Pathways is the program that replaced the legacy program that was there initially. So for most of us who joined Toastmasters before 2019, a lot of us were exposed to the legacy program, which meant we had a physical manual for the speeches and a physical manual for the roles in the club meetings. So those two signified the legacy program, a competent communicator manual and a competent leader. Yes, competent communicator and competent leader. Pathways replace legacy so that we can have an interactive and flexible education program. It has over 300 competencies. In contrast to what we had initially, Pathways has introduced 11 specialized learning paths, which we're going to go through. And when you go through each path, the different projects, the different levels, and the project inside those levels, you find that these are transferable skills. And the beauty is that it's also available in so many languages. If you want to do your pathways in Italian, in Arabic, in Chinese, the languages are there. The one thing we're pushing for is also to have it in Kiswahili. But now that we are all in Kenya, we understand English, and I believe that our pathways is in English. So these are the paths that are currently available to us. And I'm sure, okay, let me not say I'm sure, because if a lot of you have struggled, there's a likelihood that you've not been able to see the paths that are there. Dynamic leadership, effective coaching, all the way to visionary communication. When you're choosing a path, there has to be an understanding as to what you want to do. But I'll delve into that later. But these are the 11 paths that are available to us on the Pathways platform. So the updates on the paths, this is very crucial because there's some paths that will not be available for purchasing from this year, the first half of this year. And these are innovative planning, effective coaching, leadership development, team collaboration, and strategic relationships. So why am I saying they will not be available for purchase? So when you are signing up on Pathways, the first path you select is always free of charge. But moving forward, it's $20 per path. So whichever path you select right now, it's free if you have not selected any path. But by the time you're transitioning to a second path, you will have an opportunity to purchase for $20. So these are the paths that will no longer be available for purchase from the first half of 2024. So these are the remaining paths that you can purchase. So if you have selected a path that you're already on, don't worry. If you want to select your second path, then this is what will be available for purchasing. Dynamic leadership, engaging humor, motivational strategies, presentation mastery, persuasive influence, and visionary communication. They're also introducing something new, which will be called explorations. Explorations will be a short course. So in contrast to the 11 paths that are currently on Pathways, Exploration will have short courses that only have 3 projects. Currently, we have 5 projects per path, and they have 5 levels, and they have 5 different projects. Yes, so for level 1, you have about 3 or 4 speeches that you have to deliver before you move to level 2. So instead of having all level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in this case, you have only 3 available to you, and you can complete it again within the time limit that you so desire. So I'm sure the first question that you will ask, that has popped into your head rather, is I am working in a path that will no longer be available for purchase when the new version of Basecamp rolls out. Will I be able to continue and complete my path? Yes. And I copied this directly from the Toastmasters website. Yes, members who purchase effective coaching, innovative planning, leadership development, strategic relationships, or team collaboration prior to the rollout of the new system launch will be able to complete and receive credit for work in these parts. While projects in these parts will not have updated navigation or content following the transition, members working in these parts will still be able to access the educational content, complete projects, and receive credit for path and level completions using the updated and redesigned learning management system. So this is to tell you, fret not. If you have started a path that will no longer be available, you can still continue with it. You will still complete it. It will not be transferred to the new LMS, but you will still be able to update it. All right. So now here's a big question. How do I choose a path? It is not difficult at all. So when you log into your Toastmasters page, this is what greets you. Actually, there should be, If I could do it together with you so that I just show you, because I thought I'd taken a screenshot of that, but let me just share my screen so that you're able to see when you get onto the Toastmasters website, what exactly do you see? You can see Toastmasters? Good. So this is the page that welcomes you after logging in, and it asks you, where can I take you? So you can click education programs. And now that is where I return you now to the screenshot so that you're able to follow and see what happens. So there's choose a path. You can see my screen? Okay, do pop up, confirm, there you go. Choose a path. The first question that comes there is select your language. Assuming that all of us speak English, you pick English and you press continue. The next question will be, how would you like to access your materials? The fact that a lot of us experience the legacy manual, which meant carrying a manual to the meeting, otherwise you will not be able to be evaluated. We prefer digital resources. So you click on digital resources, which is the most accessible. And now you go to, how would you like to select your path? So you can either select view all options, which means viewing all paths available based on your selections above, or take an assessment. Let's start with taking an assessment. Taking a brief online assessment will suggest to you or recommend to you the paths based on the goals that you so desire. I believe that we joined Toastmasters to achieve a specific purpose. So when you click on take an assessment, it's for you to select certain goals, and pathways will recommend the path that is most suitable depending on your choices. When you click continue, and that is from take an assessment, as you can see, it will take you to this page. And you can see it says 0% complete. So you will select 3 topics you are interested in learning about from the list that is there. It'll keep giving you options up until you've selected, up until it reads 100% complete. So depending on whatever you have selected, then you will get a recommendation. Are we together? Give me a thumbs up if we are together. I see Pascalia. Thumbs up. Vivian, are we together? Jerry, I see.
Yes, yes, we are.
So we are not lost. So when you select, when you do the assessment, it will give you the recommended path. Then you go to, perhaps you don't want to take an assessment. You want to see or read or explore by yourself. What are these paths? What do they offer? What is in it for me? You can click on view all path options, and then you click continue at the bottom. This is the page it will take you to. Compare and make your selection. So you learn about accessible pathways material. So you have dynamic leadership, and you can see there at the bottom, it says learn more about dynamic leadership path. So that's why you click. And if you see innovative planning, it says this path will no longer be available for purchase, but it's still available for you to select for the first path. Okay. So you can read up and compare. When you click dynamic leadership, for example, this is where it takes you. So it gives you information like this path helps you build your skills as a strategic leader and negotiator. You will work through projects that focus on understanding leadership and communication styles, the effect of conflict on a group, and the skills needed to diffuse and direct conflict. Each project also emphasizes the development of strategies to facilitate change. You get the gist. So it gives you the information about that specific path. What skill are you getting? For dynamic leadership, we're learning how to, our communication styles, dealing with conflict, applying strategies as a leader. Presentation mastery, on the other hand, if you decided you want to read more about presentation mastery, it will tell you that you want to build your skills as an accomplished public speaker. So you work through projects that focus on learning how to gauge audience response and improve your connection with audience members. So if you want to read up all the 11 parts and get to have an understanding, you can click on view all path options. And still, you can view all path options and still come and take an assessment. It doesn't hurt. All right. Then what is the 8th step? When you have clicked, it will take you, when you have selected a path, say you selected dynamic leadership by clicking at this screen, you can see that button there, it's white, so I hope you get to see it. Once you click it, it will take you to continue so that you show that you have selected that path. And if you're taking it as your second path, it will take you to the place where you will pay the $20. If not, you will select it as a free path if it's your first path. Okay. So you choose your path to confirm your selection. You continue, press continue. I had randomly selected visionary communication. And then now that's when it takes you to getting or paying for some of us who will be selecting our third path. Base camp. So before I proceed to base camp, this was to show you how to select a path. Is anyone lost?
Maybe at this time we can ask them to ask a question before we proceed to base camp.
That's why I asked, is anyone lost?
Yeah, I have a question. I'm not lost, but
Yes.
I have a question. So first, thanks for the presentation.
Mm-hmm.
My question is on the pathways that are no longer available.
Yes.
Why are they not available? Is it something that, they were not effective, or what's making them not available?
Okay. So Toastmasters has been doing a lot of information collection from Toastmasters themselves. So Toastmasters International has been doing some form of data collection, feedback on the different parts. So they are working on the feedback that they have received. And I think some of these parts, either they were crisscrossing, and that's just my assumption because I haven't really seen a reason why they have articulated this, but I will check back on the FAQs. So they will bring other parts that they have not communicated, but this one's, I do not know any reason, but they are acting on the feedback that was given by Toastmasters themselves regarding this specific parts. It has been going on for about 6 months. I've been one of the people who's also been sending my feedback. They picked up random people from across the world and they will thrust questions through email and you'll just respond to them. So I think that's why they collected the feedback and hence the change or the elimination of these parts.
Oh, sorry, I can see Vivian's hand.
Okay.
I wanted
Mine.
to ask, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. For mine, it was just to check if you can do more than one pathway at the same time.
Actually,
Yes.
that's my exact question. Like at the same time, or you have to run through?
You can do it at the same time. No one will tell you not to do it. And that is why, even when you start with level 1 and you have a project that is in level 5, you can still do level 5 before you finish level 1. A lot of people will not recommend it because there's a systematic way, especially if you're starting as a new Toastmaster. There's a foundation phase that allows you to learn how to speak, how you phrase the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. So the ABCs of Toastmasters are normally found in level 1 and level 2. But you can still jump to level 5 and come back to level 4 and do level 3 and then finish it all up. It does not still stop you from getting another part at the same time, just that you will pay the $20. So whether you're doing 2 parts at the same time, 2 levels in different parts at the same time, no one will stop you. It's a self-paced program. You can even do 3. Have I answered your question?
Yes, yes, you have.
Mawia, as VPE, would you recommend that people do the levels differently and just interconnecting them, or would you tell us to follow the levels systematically?
I would recommend for new members who did not, what happened with Toastmasters is there were people who were in the old program. That is the legacy program that Kendi was speaking about. So when we were transitioned into pathways, members who had already become seasoned in the old program were able to do, like, you can enter a path and go to level 5, level 4, because you understood the foundational blocks of public speaking. But for new members who have never interacted with the old legacy, it is advisable to do level 1, level 2, and then once you have understood the foundation blocks of forming a speech, structure, body language, vocal variety, then you can, on your second path, then now you can play with jumping path. Let me give a good example. Fidel Owiti has just finished his first path. He transitioned from level 1 to level 5 as he's still learning. On the second path, because he has now mastered the skills of public speaking or the foundations, at this stage, if he decides to do a project in level 4, he can do that because he understands what level 1 and 2 entail. I hope I've answered that question.
Thank you, Mawia. Coming from our VPE, she has stamped that we should follow it systematically if this is your first time interacting with Toastmasters. So now we get to base camp. Yes, Njeri, I see your hand.
Yes. So I was trying to actually follow as you were speaking, because I'm logged into the portal. So I got lost, but I'm wondering if you're going to share these steps that maybe when we are offline, when we finish the meeting, we can actually like follow because as I said, I got lost at some point.
I will share the slides. I'll send it on the group that Mawia has added us. I will also share with you all the resources. You'll be surprised how resourceful Toastmasters is. And all you need to do is just type on YouTube, navigating Basecamp, and it will give you everything you need. So I will share the slides and I will also send links of all the other resources that you can access to help you navigate effectively. And I'm available as well. If you want us to do a one-on-one, I can make time.
And this recording
That's
will be
great.
shared.
Exactly.
This recording will be shared.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
All right.
So Basecamp, going back to the page that greets you when you log in, you can see there, welcome Kendi, where can we take you today? And Kendi wants to be taken to the education programs. So when I click the education program, it tells me go to Basecamp. And Basecamp is where you access your path and learning materials. So everything regarding your path, your levels, your projects, you access them from Basecamp, at least for now, until the new learning management system is introduced. So step one, you log in, click on education programs. Step two, this is the page it brings you, overview, pathways, Speechcraft, youth programs, but there's Basecamp here. So you click on access. When you click on access, it takes you to my education and achievements. And because you want to go to Basecamp and access your learning parts, you click on go to Basecamp, all right? It will take you to Kwanza Kenya Club. The reason why we see Kwanza Kenya Club is that there are other Toastmasters who are members of more than one club in Kenya, across the nation, across District 114 into other countries in Europe and many others. So this is the reason why it gives you the selection of a club. So when you select, I'm only a member of Kwanza Kenya, so I select Kwanza Kenya, and it takes me to parts and learning, and that's where the education transcript is. What did I do? No. I'm sorry, guys. When you click Kwanza Kenya, that is where it takes you. I'll show you where it takes you. So hold on to that. Yes. So this is your step two. Okay, let me just take you back. You started with education programs. Please don't get lost. And then you clicked on access, go to Basecamp. So you're clicking access your path and learning materials. The other option is to log into your page, scroll down. So I'll show you how I did that on the main page. And this one seems a bit more straightforward. So I'll take you to my Toastmasters screen. Let's do this real time. So confirm you can see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Good. So the welcome page, where can we take you today, Kendi? You scroll down and there is Basecamp. Very straightforward, isn't it? So unlike the first time where we clicked on education programs, you can log in still, and instead of clicking education programs, you just scroll and you go straight to go to Basecamp. If you're to click education programs, it will still take you to go to Basecamp. You're not lost. We're together. Okay, good. So let me go back to my other screen, my slide. Confirm you can see it?
Yes, we can see.
All right. So when you go to Basecamp, after you've clicked on go to Basecamp, which was, okay, it will take you to your club, you select your club. Then paths and learning. this is the place where you access your path. So when you click there, here you go. These are the paths that I'm on, or the path that I'm on, because it's only persuasive influence that's a path there. You'll see the Pathways Mentor program that unlocks itself after you're done with your level 2 project. So I'm currently on persuasive influence. When you want to see what's under persuasive influence, you click open curriculum. And when you click that, it takes you to this page, which shows you your curriculum progress. So if you're in level 1, you can see my level 1, 2, 3 are checked. That means I have completed the projects under level 1 to 3. Level 4 is still pending, okay? So the project that I did yesterday, for those ones who were in the meeting, was leading in difficult situations. So whichever project you want to do, when you want to open it to see what is required, you click on launch. If you want to access level 5, for example, you come and click level 5 and it will show you the projects under level 5. And all you have to do is click launch. When you look at level 4 up here, it says 0%. So which means Candy hasn't updated the projects she has completed under level 4. It also shows you that the minimum projects required are 3 and the total items are 3. The required items does not necessarily mean that you have to give 3 speeches. This level 4 completion here is part of the minimum required. So you will keep updating, and I'll show you how to update, and you'll see how it will look after updating. So I didn't update for the purpose of this session. So when you click launch, what do you see? It takes you to this page. This is where the project is detailed. And now I will show you live how we are going to do that from my Toastmasters page. So walk with me. Okay, has it logged me out? Okay, let me just. So I click access. I don't like how my net is responding. Okay, so this is the page I was telling you about. I'm clicking open curriculum on my persuasive influence path. So this is what I was saying. When I click level 1, for example, it shows you that I completed everything that was required. So my icebreaker, my evaluation and feedback, research and presenting, I finished all. So now going to level 4, I click on launch. And you see it always opens different tabs at the same time. When you click on launch, it will open the entire project. From the introduction, it takes you through giving you examples of what you need to do. So it starts with the introduction. I'm trying, just give me a minute. Let me take this up. Okay, so when you see, let's go back to the first page. When you see down here, can you look at where my cursor is? Select to move to another section. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So when you select move to another section, it gives you all the details of everything that is being given on this page. So there's an introduction that tells you about leading in difficult situations. Then your assignment, what exactly are you required to do? So if you're to go, the introduction continues, your assignment. So the purpose of this project is to practice strategies for adjusting to unexpected changes to a finalized plan. Then it tells you you're going to give a 5 to 7 minute speech and all the details. For all assignment details and requirements, review the project list. So the project list always helps you prepare. It's like your it's literally your checklist. Have you prepared? Have you booked a speaking slot with your VPE? Then plan disruption ideas. It also gives you, this is so fantastic. It gives you the kind of ideas that you can use for that particular speech to help you achieve the goal or the objective. So you're supposed to assess your skills before. Why do you assess your skills before? It's because you will be required to assess your skills after, to test whether or to confirm whether the assignment was able to sink in, or the lessons applicable. Did you find value in this? So I can analyze, I did this one before, and you can see where I scored. So you'll click next and next. It's different for every project. So, but every project has the assess your skills before. Okay. So once you have assessed the 5 questions that they normally ask, you go to the next thing, competencies. This is what you will learn. They tell you from this project, these are the lessons that you will need the skills you will need to acquire. Then preparation. Again, a lot of information. Planning for the unexpected. You have your project plan right there. It continues telling you the value of preparation. It's a lot of information that really helps you prepare on time. Then you still have resources to tell you for this particular project, when leading in difficult situations, stay calm. So again, skills, it's basically giving you a question and giving you the answer. So what do you do when you are leading in a difficult situation? Then, okay, it's refusing to move. Okay. So it's still not on the project, and you keep on going and going and progressing. The place that I want to take you is complete your assignment. So you have your project list, like it was shared at the introduction, and your disruption ideas, at least for the purpose of this project. This is where you get your evaluation resource. When you go to your evaluation, that is where you get the evaluation that you will give to your evaluator to evaluate you. So this is what I gave to Edwin yesterday. You have your evaluation form with the project leading in difficult situations. It always outlines the speech length, that as you can see, member name, date, evaluator, your speech title by the time you're handing this to your evaluator. And it has all these details outlining just a snippet of what was in your project. Purpose of this project is to practice strategies for adjusting to unexpected changes to our finalized plan. Every evaluation form has the notes for the evaluator to help them look at certain things. And you can see it has general comments. You've heard of the sandwich method. This is where we get it from. Where did you excel at? What do you want to work on? And how do you want to challenge yourself moving forward? Then all these other things that are very competent, there are skills that you need to acquire as a Toastmaster: clarity, vocal variety, eye contact, gestures, among many others. Once you have your evaluation resource sorted, you've printed your project, you have your plan, disruption ideas, project plan overview, you can look at all these documents. They just help you prepare for your speech. You assess your skills after. So I am assessing my skills real time. I can analyze in a situation and understand the challenges. Yes, I can. After my speech yesterday, yes, I can. Okay. Kindly follow very keenly because this is where you are able to update that you have completed your project. I am resourceful and flexible when facing challenges. Yes. I know strategies to apply. Yes. I understand the value of a positive attitude when leading a team through a challenging situation. Yes. I recognize how this project applies to my life outside of Toastmasters. Once I click submit, it shows me how it compares with my previous assessment, my current assessment with my previous assessment, okay? To show you whether you've improved or you're still at the same place. So once you click this arrow right here, project complete. That is as simple as it is. That is what you say. That is when you say, I am done with my project. And you can see it says, congratulations, you have completed this project. You are now ready to advance to the next project on your path. But that's not where it stops. Mawia, on the other hand, as VPE, has the Club Central, where she confirms that yes, Kendi actually delivered her speech, and yes, I approve as a VPE that she did the speech, she was evaluated, and that is done. Okay, so what do we see thereafter? I should have taken you back now to, has it disappeared? Yes. Now I'll take you back to the Toastmasters, the curriculum page. If we are to load it, it shows that I've done level 4, I'm at 34%, and my curriculum progress, which was 56, is now at 62. Easy, yes? Easy peasy lemon squeezy, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. Back to my presentation now. So now that I've shown you how to submit your project completion, or to just indicate that you finished your project. We'll go to the next slide. And it has frozen.
As Kendi is unfreezing her machine, I just wanted to make a point that as you keep using the Pathways portal, it becomes so easy that it becomes second nature. So I just wanted to let you know that.
Okay, thanks, Mawia. Sorry, that was an interruption. I will share that video. You'll watch it, but it's on how to select an elective. So instead of showing you that video, I will show you again real time on the Toastmasters page, what is an elective? So for every level you do, there's a core project and there's an elective project. For the core project, someone was saying something? Okay, sorry, Maria, I've seen your message. I've seen your message right now. For the core project, and I will just run through this, you select view details for the elective project, sorry. And this is what comes to your screen. Elective projects you have, so for my level 4, I have all these projects, 5 projects that I can select any to do and complete under my elective level 4. So what I took again is create a podcast, and just like I said earlier, you launch and it will show you what needs to be done. It will take you to the page that had the project plan. Level 3, 4, 5 have electives that you can select from, and it depends on what you want to do. It will help you achieve your desired outcome. So Basecamp replacement is taking place. Like I told you, that is good and bad news because you're being trained on Basecamp and then Basecamp will be replaced. But it's good for you to start your journey right now, learning how to navigate through Basecamp. So the other materials that you can access, easy peasy. Go to Basecamp the same way we went. And what you have, Paths and Learning, those are your path and learning materials. Speech evaluations, that's for a project that has been evaluated and the evaluation was put online. Tutorials and resources. Any resource you want regarding Toastmasters is on tutorials and resources. So you can see here on my left, evaluation resources, project description, resource documents, Basecamp glossary, everything is right here. And you can see the page here, these are videos that you can click on and watch. And with that, this is what I want to leave with you. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. You joined Toastmasters. You struggled with pathways. Your journey of joining Toastmasters is continuous, but this is the end of the beginning of, I don't want to call it ignorance, lack of knowledge of pathways to a new beginning of understanding pathways and Basecamp. So I look forward to seeing you interact with pathways and update your projects, deliver your speeches one level at a time. Over to you, Maria.
Thank you so much, Candy, for that presentation. I know pathways is not something you will say after this presentation you have mastered, but it will be a guide for you to now put into practice as a new member and be able to navigate the website with ease. You have to, if you are a member of Toastmasters, you have to use the learning system for you to progress. So at this moment, I want to first ask if there are any questions. Do we have any questions, clarifications from the audience?
I have a question
Yes.
on, okay, like updating that you finished. I don't know if I got it right, but so your evaluator has a part where they have to fill. No?
No, the evaluation resource I was talking about is the document you give to your evaluator in the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So that one, they will fill it and share with you separately. But
Okay.
for you to update, you just update the skill that you've learned afterwards, and
Okay.
that's how you complete your project.
All right. And what, like now time has elapsed, you haven't updated, still?
You'll still get the same, you will update it.
Okay.
If I was to forget and remember in June, I will still follow the same procedure.
Okay, so thank you.
So if I can ask a question, still following up on what has been asked, if I gave my speech and you said we self-evaluate, not self-evaluate, we are the one to fill in the system, and then the VPE sort of checks whether in fact that speech was given. So I'm wondering, my two questions is, if this happens, much later, is there a way that you'll not be able to proceed to the next stage until the VPE approves or says you've actually undertaken that particular project? And as you say, probably if I give this speech in a different club, does it now come to the Kwanza VPE to be able to update, or it will be updated from the other side? I don't know whether
Candy, will you tackle? Yeah, yes, it's clear. Candy, do you want to tackle it?
Yes, Michael, I've heard you. One of the values of Toastmasters is integrity. So we do understand that when we are Toastmasters, integrity is a very core value to us. So we do not expect that someone will decide to update unless it's erroneous to update and say that they finished a project and they did, because at the end of the day, you're the one denying yourself value, because by practicing the different projects, you're able to get value. So with the core understanding that integrity is a great value to Toastmasters, VPEs will take your word for it. I've not seen where someone literally questions and tells you, tell me where, which club. But it's always important when you're taking a project outside your club, it's always important to notify the VPE. And also the VPE also helps you in a lot of times, because of the VPE group that they're in, to get opportunities to speak in other clubs. So inform your VPE. The projects that don't even take place in a Toastmasters club, they take place outside Toastmasters. In your workplace, if you have a project that's upcoming, that can be the place you decide to do your high performance leadership in level 5. So for such cases, just inform your VPE and make sure that you have an evaluator, because you have to be evaluated to get feedback on that. But there's never been a challenge on updating. Your VPE, consult with your VPE, inform them that you've done a speech. The moment you just check and submit, it will reflect on the Club Central and it will be up to them to just confirm that you actually spoke. So integrity is key. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, thank you.
If
Thank
you notice, most of the times in the main Kwanza group, you'll notice that I've issued a certificate to a member saying, congratulations, so and so, for completing your level 1, 2, or 3, or 4, 5. What happens is immediately you log in that system, I have an interface where I am able to access those data and see how members are progressing. That's how I can know you're in which level at which project and update your records as you move on. So you need those certificates even for your own record keeping purposes. And it's highly encouraged, as Kendi has said, integrity, but also notification to the VPE that you are undertaking a speech in a different club.
Thank you, Kendi, for the presentation. Mine is just a follow-up question again. It seems the feedback from the evaluator is fairly a hard copy. So you just pick the extract from it and maybe upload it or rather complete it in your section. My question is, even for our future references, maybe there may be what the evaluator has written. Does the portal allow us to fairly upload, maybe scan and upload the comments that are there? Or is there a way maybe the portal can allow the evaluator, rather than complete the hard copy, to just give the feedback on the portal and then maybe complete the feedback, that's such that you can be able to view it from that portal?
As you're speaking, I'm checking on the evaluation, the speech evaluation part, because that is where it can actually be uploaded. So you don't need to have it physically, but I've never used it before. So you can access any project. Actually, no, this is not the one. This is not the one. You will not be able to get an e-evaluation. You won't, because a speech evaluation tab takes you to the evaluation resources. So it still helps you. For example, if you're doing level 2, project 3, and I'm unable to get you, I can still go ahead and download the document by myself. So they haven't given a platform for uploading evaluations. So you'll have to walk around with your evaluation. But what I do, I have a journal for Toastmasters specifically, and I always take note of my evaluations every single time. So when I'm writing a speech, I reflect back and see which are the areas that I was told to improve on that I can apply on my new speech. And that really helps. So a specific journal to just write the things that the evaluator has given you feedback on.
Dodds, on that question, those were some of the feedback that were collected by Toastmasters International. And those were the challenges that were faced by members, especially from the old legacy program, because we used to be able to write all our evaluation on our book and be able to physically carry it. So they are currently working on improving that system because Toastmasters is also in a learning process with the new system. So for your evaluation, the tip I can give you is that when you give out your evaluation to your evaluator, they fill in the form, you can save it. You can save your evaluation forms on a folder. That's, for example, the way Candy has a journal, I save all my evaluations on a folder, and I can keep looking at those evaluations based on as I move on to the next project.
Thank you. And just to chime in on that, sorry to interrupt, Candy. Thank you for that question too, Dodds. My first speech, the icebreaker, I printed the evaluation form and gave it to my evaluator, and he was kind enough to write it there, and he gave me the copy. So I was writing notes, but I didn't quite catch everything he was saying. But the fact that he had organized his evaluation of me so very well, I have that evaluation form in my folder, just the same way the legacy style used to do it. But I would propose perhaps to make it easier for you, Dodds, is just to ask any evaluator, if your evaluator, to actually write it for you. If taking down the notes of what he's saying during the evaluation will be difficult, then you can just perhaps copy paste it into the platform or use it for future reference.
Okay.
I'd like to make an additional comment. Any evaluator is actually supposed to send a comprehensive report to the speaker after the speech. And that is done either immediately, actually it should be immediate, so that they can be able to give you more concrete details on what they thought you did right, what you didn't do right, and basically what they were able to evaluate. So that is the sole responsibility of your evaluator to do that. You don't even need to follow up on them. They know that that's what they're supposed to do. Back to you, Candy.
Any other question or comments?
Yes. So when you're giving a speech, how do you know who your evaluator is? And then also, as the person giving the speech, am I supposed to send the evaluation form to my evaluator, or does the evaluator already know that they should download the form? And also another question is, I guess it's my responsibility as the speaker, as the one giving a speech, to tell them what my speech is all about. But I found that when I was giving my icebreaker speech, I had a challenge in knowing who was evaluating me. So that was really like a challenge for me. So how do you know that this is the person who is evaluating me?
That's very interesting, Jerry, that you didn't know who your evaluator was. There's a program. There's a program that's normally shared. There's a program that's normally shared by the VPE before the meeting takes place. So that is the one thing that can guide you. But sometimes even evaluators don't show up at the meeting. That's why it's important for you to have the evaluation form yourself, so that in case the evaluator who was appointed to you for one reason or the other does not show up, any other evaluator allocated can be able to help you. So the importance of interacting with your evaluator is also for you to, as you grow in your Toastmasters journey, you realize that there's some places you struggle. The one thing I struggled with was speaking naturally as compared to reciting. When I came back, so it's one of the things that I kept on telling my evaluator, can you just watch and see if I'm reciting or speaking? It's above and beyond the objectives of the speech. So you need to speak to your evaluator before and even in the meeting, because they need to know the title of your speech. You saw what happened yesterday. An example of, I don't know what project you're on, what level is this? You don't want that. You want to be introduced confidently with someone who knows you, so interact with your evaluator before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and if
true.
they're not in the meeting, liaise with the VPE. The VPE will sort you out.
It is the reason I put every member in the planning group when I'm organizing a meeting, and I post the details with your phone numbers so that every member has the responsibility of reaching out to the evaluator that I have assigned. So you will notice in the group that I put the Toastmaster of the day, the speakers that are speaking, the evaluators, and the role takers. So based on the order of speaking role, then the evaluator. So I say first speaker, first evaluator. So that is how you know your evaluator that is going to evaluate you, and the contact is there for you to take. As we said earlier, Toastmasters is a self-paced program, and you have to carry responsibility in doing your projects.
Any other
Thank
questions?
you.
Jerry, you are unmuted. Do you have a question still or a comment?
No, thank you. Got
Okay, great.
it.
Then Maria, over to you.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Candy, I really appreciate that preparation for the pathways. As I stated earlier, you can have joined Toastmasters with such zeal to improve on your public speaking skills. But if you want to interact with pathways, it gives every member a hurdle and a challenge, just not new members, even ongoing members. So kindly do not feel shy reaching out to any member today, that is Pascalia, Angela, Candy, myself, if you have a challenge navigating pathways. But since we have said that Toastmasters is a self-paced program, Toastmasters International has gone over and beyond the materials on the Toastmasters website and puts regular updates on YouTube. You can follow the YouTube page of Toastmasters International, but you can also Google how to navigate pathways on YouTube, and it can guide you. So I pray that over and above you reaching out to us, you can also carry out your own research. I see there's a hand up. Who is the person who's raised up their hand?
Maria, it's me.
Okay.
Apologies for that disruption, but there's something that I thought I should have said, and it escaped me completely. So I'm sharing my screen, and this is for you to improve your speaking ability. There's something called Udly. When you go to your welcome page and scroll down all the way to from the organization to you, you have Udly right here. And it's an AI analyzing speech, AI tool that analyzes your speeches. So if you're able to practice with this, because sometimes the evaluator is not your evaluator, your mentor is not available, please check out Udly. It will guide you, it will give you feedback, it will analyze your pace, your delivery, among many other things. So check it out and use it effectively. It's another beautiful tool that Toastmasters has given to us free of charge. Yeah. Over to you, Maria.
Thank you so much, Candy, for that reminder. Yes, Udly really does work wonders when you are looking to practice if your mentor is not available to adequately assist you in preparation of your speech. I wanted to let you know that once you have done this training, as Kwanza Kenya Club, we are moving in a place where we are restructuring our mentorship program. Currently, when the previous pass, when used to enter to Kwanza, will assign you an individual member to mentor you. But we notice that is becoming a challenge because sometimes some people have work to do, other people do not have chemistry with their mentors. So we are creating groups based on the level that you are. And now that you have been in the induction orientation meeting, you will be able to move now to the level 1. But there's something I wanted to let you know that I think the VPM didn't state. As a new member of Kwanza Kenya, you will be inducted physically at the meeting and say your Toastmasters promise that you will be responsible also of being active in the club and also carrying out roles and be present as an individual in carrying out your role. I believe we will share when that will be done and the VPM will communicate that on the main group. But that is what I just wanted to share. As the leaders, I just wanted you as members to realize that every person at Toastmasters is volunteering their time to serve. And sometimes as new members, you can come in expecting that I have paid, why am I not being helped? And yes, as leaders, we are meant to serve, but I want you to also understand that everyone at Toastmasters is volunteering their time. And that's why they keep saying that Toastmasters is a self-paced program and you have to be proactive in your process of learning. And I think that's what I wanted to share for today's session. And I'll hand over the program to our President Pascalia to close for us if there are no other questions. Thank you so much for your time today.
Maria Pascalia has left the meeting.
Oh, she has left the meeting. Okay, then. Thank you so much. I think at this time we can close the meeting. And if you have any other questions, please free to side chat either Candy, Pascalia, Angela, and myself, and we will be more than able to assist you. Thank you so much. You guys are free to leave. We will share the recording.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
I've learned a lot
Thank you.
for your
Good
time.
night.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.